Okay, I'm going to talk about the document of strategy planning. Now, when we talk about document strategy planning, we talk about level of formality. Yeah, level of formalities. Now, strategy plan must be written, must be understood, and must be executed based on what has been written. Yeah. So when we talk about the level of formality, normally when we actually completing a strategy plan, we need to have what we call a challenge session, whereby the management team will be able to actually uh, present and defend their analysis. Then, after successfully defended those findings and the strategy, they will eventually move on to the board of directors for approval. Yeah. So when we talk about strategy plan, it must follow the process of actually uh, approval. Approval means from the strategic planning department go to the board, go to the senior management, and subsequently go to the board for approval. And normally, along the way, though strategic plan are being done about once every 3 years or about once every 2 years, normally there will be what we call the annual planning session. This is when the CEO will give his thoughts about the situation of the company, as well as laying down what would be the plan for the year. Yeah. So it might be something that something that following the previous year strategic plan, or it might be a new strategic plan altogether. So normally this is what we call town hall session, whereby the CEO would be telling or sharing with uh, the employees about the plan of the organization, the plan of the organization. Then, in a strategy plan, right, they must be the strategy plan document itself must have linkages. So, what are linkages and what the linkages means? You know that strategic plan is master of all plan. This is on top. Then it goes down, cascaded down. Yeah, master of all plan. Now, when we talk about master of all plan, uh, the linkages between corporate, business, and functional or operational must be clearly mapped, clearly demonstrated, and clearly described. And those description gitu, will come out, of course, with a key performance indicator. So assuming that the restaurant that we talk about, the satay restaurant. So let's say the big picture or the corporate strategy is to embark into new branches and franchise businesses. All right, those are the corporate strategy, growth strategy. Then they move into the secondary of the strategy, whereby it is through what we call business expansion to increase in sales and revenue. So, and the development of that must be in organic term. They do not want to merge with any other organization. So, those are what we call organic, developed from within. Then they move on into the business plan. So they know that they are going into revenue increment. So what are they going to do about it? What are the business plan? What are the differentiation? What are the competitive advantage of that business? And it will be translated down together with the KPIs. Then subsequently, we have the functional or operational strategy. Kan? The operational strategy of the kedai sate is fast and efficient services, fresh meat and raw materials, so that the quality uh, will be there, will always be there. The quality will be sustained. Yeah, so those are what we call the functional strategy, and those developmental strategy, the growth development, business strategy, and the operation strategy must be clearly mapped, so that not just the management understood about it, but the overall employee will be able to explain and that they understood what is meant by their own corporate strategy. So those are what we call linkages. First, it must be formal. Second, it must have linkages. Third, a strategy plan must have time frame. Yeah? You cannot have a strategic plan without a proper timeline. So you need to know that, okay, by the first of 3 months, second quarter, third quarter, right, and at the end of the day, the fourth quarter, what are the achievements that we need to have? So timeline is very important. So many years ago, when we talk about strategy plan, we talk about 10 years, 5 years. Now we talk about 2 years, 3 years. IT company might have only about a year of a strategy plan. So these are things that eventually, right, maybe because of the changes in the environment, the strategy plan has becoming shorter and shorter. Now, formality, linkages, time frame, right? And time frame, you need to have a proper time frame so that you can control. Kalau katakan within the 3 months, 6 months, you need to achieve this, but you did not achieve. So what are you going to do about it? So that is about the strategy control. Now, then we have the level of completeness. Level of completeness. What is level of completeness? Now, level of completeness means, each of the department that is involved tadi tu, each of the level, because dia macam ni, dia macam main Lego, right? So we need to say each of the department need to know their role and need to know what they need to achieve. Jadi maksudnya kalau katakan certain department saja yang achieve, the other department doesn't achieve, so dia tak ada level of completeness. The Lego will be very delicate, dia akan boleh jatuh, kan? So bila dia jatuh, habislah the business altogether. So when we talk about level of completeness, we talk about each of the department need to know what are their output, need to know what are their targets, and need to know what need to be done. So by doing that, tak adalah orang kata sesuatu yang hilang in between. Kalau tidak, nanti A perform, B perform, C tak perform, so you won't complete the pyramid. It will be very jelly, jatuh. The next one, this is the new component, is about triggers, trigger point. This is where we go into the descriptive tadi tu, emergent strategy, right? You plan, you thought that everything is okay, suddenly ada COVID-19. COVID-19 is a trigger. This is something we call as triggers. Jadi, apa lagi triggers? New technologies are triggers. So when they are triggers, you need to understand that you need to change, atau you need to adopt. You need to be able to be flexible to actually to change your strategy, and your strategy document as well. So with that, I will actually stop for the lecture for the time being. Kita akan ada discussion and we see if there is any question. Alright, thank you.